You're listening to the Loungtastic podcast.
News, entertainment.
Loungtastic. Lounge it up.
Lounge it up, relax. To follow us on social media, head over to loungtastic.com. And for more about shows as they air and to see bonus episodes, become a premium member over at Patreon/Loungtastic. That's Patreon/Loungtastic. Hey everyone, happy holidays. Welcome to Loungtastic, a show that's all about amusing the world. A show that's about all that's amusing in the world.
Like a show that's all about the amusing in the world.
News, entertainment, and more. I'm Mila from Loungtastic.com. Joining me is the man who loves to make you laugh from Loungtastic.com, Lawrence Hurstel.
I'm here with Mila-tastic.
What we hope to do is to entertain you and have you coming back for more.
Welcome back to Podcast 42. We have another episode here where Hannah is trying to manage these clowns. She's also trying to manage a relationship with Conrad.
The 6th episode starts out with Brooke crying on the street with the rats crawling around. Adam comes up to her, console her, and she says, "I like you." Poor little Brooke can't find a way to manage her little emotions. I'm just not some frigid British gal. I can get down. What is the relationship between interior and exterior? Canrad or Canho? We knew Adam wasn't going to sit there for a while because he pooped a squat. Zhao says to Casey, "You're very sincere. You're marriage material." Colin yells, "You're macking on everybody," to Zhao. Casey tells Zhao that her mom said no 1,000,000 times to her dad, and that's the most romantic thing she ever saw. She needs to see more romantic movies and or books. Conrad says, "I fell in love with a gal in my previous boat and never told her. Not going to let that happen again."
They ask Jamie why she won't stop drinking chocolate milk. Jamie says, "You can do anything with chocolate milk. You can drink the milk. You can splooge the milk. You can have 2 milk." You can have 2 milks at once. You can call it Yoo-hoo and you'll feel like you're in the 90s. We have new guests who seem super cool about preferences. "Whatever you want to cook us is fine, Chef Adam." Adam says, "I still have PTSD from the last dinner guests. I don't know who I could trust from here on out. Haha, like Matt from Below Deck Classic, the Caribbean." Laundry's messed up again and Hannah is pissed. So Hannah is waking up one too many times because Casey can't figure anything out. She says we need to review Casey's resume, calls the girls in, and has full on-rest bitch face. Hannah says, "Do you even know what silver service is?" Casey, "I know about the silver spoon, if that counts." "No," says Hannah. "Were you a barista?" "Yes, I poured Jack and Cokes." Colin says to his mom, "The pizza is so good here, but not better than yours, Mommy Pooh." Colin looks in the camera and says, "I'm an only child from Long Island. I'm a mama's boy. She can come over whenever she likes and wiggle my handle any night." "You lied on your CV," Hannah shouts. Casey says she'll own up to it. Hannah runs to everyone and says, "I'm on a mission to turn a whole boat against Casey." "Hey Casey, it's a fake CV." She runs to the next person. "Hey Jamie, there's no chocolate milk in it." "Hey Colin, it's a fake CV." "Hey Adam, it's a fake CV." "Hey Sandy, it's a fake CV."
"Hey Lawrence, it's a fake CV."
There you go.
Adam says, I still have PTSD from the last dinner guests. I don't know who I could trust anymore from here on out. Haha. Like Matt from Below Deck Classic, Caribbean. Laundry is messed up again and Hannah is pissed. So Hannah is waking up one too many times because Casey can't figure anything out. Colin says to his mom, "The pizza is so good here, but not better than yours, Mommy Pooh."
So we have Hannah and Conrad out on the boat, and Conrad says, "I never do this stuff." That's always the thing the girl says, "I never do this stuff." Hannah's like, "It's all right. I've been with a few, yachties in my time." And Conrad is like, "I feel bad about it anyway because you're in charge of the interior. I'm in charge of the exterior. So let's hug it out naked in my bed like 2 friends would."
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing.
So it's nighttime and it's time to fall asleep. So they get some sleep tonight since there's no early morning charter. They're in Naples, Italy.
Oh, yeah, that's a very beautiful place.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Conrad climbs into Hannah's bunk and says, "Hey, baby, what's going on?" What does Hannah say?
She tells him that she likes him back.
Yeah, and they're doing pillow talk, and Brooke is looking up, and she's like, "Boy, I wish I could do that right now. How come I haven't found a lad?"
She's just not lucky because she's wearing a red shirt.
I don't think Brooke is wearing much right now. So he says, "I had a chance to date a girl on my last boat. I had a chance to date a gal on my last boat, and I didn't do it, and I regretted it. I'm gonna give her a rightly kind flogging, I will."
He's trying to get it right because he regrets it.
Hannah is on top of him. She was on top of Bobby, too, last season. Below Deck Mediterranean. It's been a while. They took a hiatus from the show. And she's trying to console her friend Brooke here, and sub-coworker Brooke, and she's just trying to say, hey, it's okay. And Brooke's like, I'm getting cut down from the left, right, and center. The chef won't shag me. The butler won't shag me. And Captain Sandy won't even shag me. So Captain Sandy is making a cup of coffee, and Casey runs up to her and says, can you show me how to make a cup of coffee? Captain Sandy says, oh, I'll be glad to. And she said, have you done it before? And Casey's like, no, I just want to see how you make it, and then we'll go from there. And Captain Sandy says, well, it's 2 parts coffee, 1/3 pure milk, and 3 Captain Crunch Berries, 1 of each flavor.
Yeah, I like Captain Crunch Berries too. I'd eat like 1 of 5 flavors.
Aren't they good? So we heard about the chocolate milk thing again. That was kind of interesting. Jamie loves chocolate milk, and she expresses that upon everybody. I think she's trying to keep a clean record, because everyone else is like putting themselves on the line, and her quirky thing is that she likes chocolate milk.
Yeah, she loves it. She wants 2 chocolate milks at the same time. She talks about it like she talks about her chocolate milk for about 5 minutes, and just she can't handle. It's her favorite drink in the world, so it's really interesting.
Well, Zhao's a hard worker. They finally showed Zhao working as hard as he's probably been working from the beginning, so that's kind of interesting. They paint him to be kind of a womanizer.
Yeah, he's definitely a womanizer. You can tell when you see him.
Well, the whole thing for the 7th episode that's coming out in a couple days here is Brooke just tells him to come clean. He says, who do you want? Do you want the blonde or me, the brunette? And it's like, it's coming down to it. It's like he has to make a decision, and he's like, and his response is, because he doesn't want to. I think he's trying to see what he can get. If Casey likes him, that's good, and if Brooke likes him, that's good too. And if the girls want to fight over him, that's cool too. Have you ever fought over a man?
Of course I have.
So have you ever stolen a man from your best friend?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever been interested in a man that your best friend was with?
Yes, I have.
So when that happened, what did you do? Did you tell her that you liked him?
Of course not.
So did you get into a spat with her about it?
No, we just kind of stopped talking for a couple months.
But you guys made up afterwards, so that's good. And who got the guy?
Not me, because I wasn't interested in him.
That makes perfect sense. You loved your girlfriend's boy, and then you couldn't get him, so you weren't interested in him. So we have Hannah confronts Casey and says, hey, have you done silver service? And Casey's like, well, I've been called a silver fox before. I've been with silver-haired men for money before. Hannah takes things up a notch, and she says, Casey, I'm going to let everyone know about this, and you're going to be the talk of the town. And the town happens to be the boat. The whole town is the boat. So Hannah runs up, and she's like, Colin, hey, guess what? She lied on her CV. And she runs away, and Colin's like, who lied on what? Yeah. And then she runs up to Jamie, and she's like, Jamie, she lied on her CV. Jamie's like, And Hannah's like, it didn't have chocolate milk on it. And Jamie's like, oh no. So then Hannah completes the boat, and she's like, oh yeah, she's a liar. So now it's time to meet our new charter guests, and they come on the boat, and he's all friendly. He could not be more friendly. He's like, hello, how are you? You're doing great. Like your hair, like your sunglasses, like the rape whistle on your neck. How you doing? Like that. Nice earring piece. Love the boat. Hey, boat, how are you, boat? Love the boat. This boat's so great. Boat, how are you? I'm going to clear the dishes tonight. I love to do work. Goodbye. He gets off the ship.
Yeah, I don't know who.
So the other thing that I read, because I dove in deep on the dark web about this stuff, people who charter these boats get a 20% discount. So it's supposed to be $150,000, but they only have to pay $120,000. Does that make sense mathematically? Probably not.
150.
20% of 150. So 2 times.
So they save $30,000. Is what you're saying?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
0.8 equals 120. Wow, I guessed right. How did I do that? Did I say 120?
Yeah.
I just guessed. That is weird. Or Chef Adam is cutting up a lobster, and I love lobster. The one I had was bathed in butter and garlic. So what we got here is they're underway right now, which means the boat is cruising through the water.
Yeah.
And Hannah is like, well, we can't serve them lunch until the boat stops. Zhao is like, well, we'll put a windscreen up to prevent the wind from blowing onto them, which is kind of cool because you never realize that ship turns into an indoor. That outdoor area they're sitting at turns into an indoor area if they just put that the tarp around the sides.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it looks really cool, and I don't know what the name of that thing is, but if they put it on the sides, then like the mosquitoes won't get to them, so that'd be cool.
No mosquitoes tonight for our night cruise.
Definitely not.
So they're eating, and they're very gracious, and they're very friendly with the captain, or they're very friendly with the chef. And the chef comes out in his whites because when you respect the chef, he respects you. You could tell the chef's attitude by what he's wearing. If he comes to visit you in a t-shirt, he's mad about something you did. You sent food back. You told him something was wrong. You didn't abide by your own preference sheet. So he's wearing a t-shirt to show you that you're a fool. But on this ship, these people are so nice. I don't know what they do for a living.
No.
This guy in a blue shirt is like, thank you, have a nice day, have a great day. He's like talking to a doorknob. He's like, you're a great boat. I love this boat. I think I'll tip the door on this boat because I love it so much.
Yeah, I think he's going to do that too because he was wearing a long sleeve shirt and it was like baby blue, and the whole island looks really, really cool. Oh, no, they're in Italy. They're in Positano, Italy, so...
Punani, Italy.
Punani, Italy is where they're at. No, it's Pussy... I mean...
Pussy-nado.
Positano.
Pussy-nado.
Pussy-nado, Italy.
So much pussy. We're getting Arab money.
Yeah, exactly what Law just said here. I don't know. But yeah, it looks awesome. They're having a really good time. I mean, like, they're just kicking it back, relaxing, and just, he's humping like a I don't know, some kind of a mechanical bull in the boat right now, so.
It's not a party until you hump a mechanical bull in the boat.
Yep.
So Zhao tries it out. He's out there in the ocean playing with his mechanical bull. She said, a 6 on the yacht is worth a 10 on land.
Yeah, I mean, like, she thinks she knows what she's talking about, but that's not true.
Why not?
Because if you're a 10, you're a 10 anywhere.
How can an opinion not be true to that person?
Because it's her opinion. She doesn't, she needs to, like, take it up with about 5 people to see if they agree with her or not.
But how can someone's opinion be wrong? If it's your opinion, isn't any opinion you have right for you?
Well, the opinion is in the eye of the beholder,
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I guess her opinion can be right for her, but it doesn't have to be right for, like, 5 other people, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what I think.
So finally, Chef Adam gets to make meals for the crew. And what do we have here? A bunch of people in sailor outfits. It's kind of funny. The husband and wife get dressed up in sailor outfits, and Captain Sen is like, oh, thank goodness. This means that if we get attacked by pirates again, then they'll think that they're the real captain, and they'll throw him overboard instead of me.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Like, I'm seriously laughing just watching it. But, yeah, I mean, like, if they throw the captain, into the water, I don't know what they're going to do. It's not going to be good.
Hannah's like, I just want to remind everybody that Casey lied on her resume. Oh, you're Casey. Okay, well, you lied in your resume. How do you feel about your lying?
Well, I didn't do it, so I wouldn't know. But, yeah, if she really lied, then I guess she really was, like, begging to have that position.
Chef Adam has his bass hat on, which means he's in a good mood. Whenever you see Chef Adam with his bass hat, that means he's in a good mood. So he fed them food, and they loved it. They had no complaints, which was strange. It's almost like Hannah should go up to him and be like, oh, you sure? There was nothing wrong with that? Your meat wasn't undercooked at all? Nothing? You could talk to Brooke. She likes to talk to guests. She says, uh-huh, and yes, a lot. Casey likes to say, I'm a silver spoon, and I'm a silver lover. I love the old man with the silver hair.
Yeah, it seems like it. It seems like she's a gold digger, and like she's only looking for the men with the gold hair. I mean... Silver hair is what I meant to say, obviously.
Some say love is like a river. I say love
is not a song that you can sing.
Those scrimps look good. What do you think about those scrimps?
I don't like them.
Like what?
Those scrimps.
She said scrimps.
They're too yellow for me.
Hannah's like, that's amazing, great seafood. And then they're trying to blow up the slide here, and Zhao is telling Conrad, yo bro, I've inflated many things. I've inflated girlfriend in my closet. And then Zhao's like, you need to listen to what I'm saying. I don't care that you're a higher rank than me. I know more than you, therefore I win.
He thinks he wins, but he loses every single day except for when the dinner time comes around.
So what kind of pigeon racing does your dad do?
Racing homing pigeons.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. So how far do the birds fly away from their original location that they're set off from?
Anywhere from 200 to 300 miles. Sometimes there's 500-mile races.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, well, he likes the fact that the pigeons can navigate through the sky.
To drive there for nearly 3 decades.
I was just going to say that.
That's 30 years.
Hours away.
Women cannot drive in Saudi Arabia because it's part of the rule of law. So today is historic, and I remember hearing about this months ago that it might happen. I remember saying that'll never happen because that's just our culture. You know, women are second-class citizens. You know, it goes man, horse, dog, cat, rat, woman.
Screw you, Lawrence.
A woman is below a rat.
A woman is number one in the world. Men cannot live without women.
Why not?
Because women rule the world. Ask Beyonce.
Is that one of her songs?
Yeah, who rules the world? Who runs the world, girls? That's all I'm going to say. It's true. A man can't operate without a woman because he needs a woman for everything in his life.
So I can't make Egos by myself.
No, of course not.
You're right. I didn't know where the syrup was this morning. I had to be like, Mila, come help me, please.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you which button to push, and I have to, like, tell you what kind of syrup to use, and, like, if you want, like, cream cheese or, like, whipped cream cheese or, like...
Hey, there you go. That is a reason I would need a woman, because I'd be like, what do I do? What do I eat?
Yeah, I mean, like, you wouldn't really know, like, even what color iPhone to buy without me or anything like that, so... Yeah. But, yeah, that's awesome for the Saudi Arabian women, because I have a really good friend that's... She is from Pakistan,
yeah.
So she's probably really happy right now when she hears the news. So
she can drive. Accident rate increases by 300% first day.
Well, I mean, it's not... I mean, seriously, if somebody's waited 30 years to have a freedom to drive, that's amazing. Because in America, obviously, women can drive, like, since they're born, so... Yeah, like, Saudi Arabia is really, really strict towards women, so finally, in 2018, they let them drive, so... Yeah,
it's been decades, you know. They say 30 years because that's... You know, that's how long it's been. I was wondering if they would mention that because they do seem to steer towards liberal media a lot, and so I wasn't sure if they were going to say it, but when I saw the headline, you know, top 5 things to know in the news today, it said Saudi Arabia allows women to drive. And I was like, they're not going to mention that it's been 3 decades. And sure enough, they say, yeah, it's been 3 decades of man drivers waiting for a man to drive them around. You couldn't just drive down and go get some milk. You can't. Women couldn't drive, period. You need a male to drive you. So how do you feel about that?
I feel like that's, like, the worst thing ever because I, like, recently, a month ago, I sold my car because I wanted to buy a new BMW. And I had to Uber everything everywhere for like a whole like month and a half, and every time I requested Uber they would pick me up at the wrong location or something would happen, and either way, like, it was just really expensive. It was about like $10 to like $30 per ride. So when you just can't like get to the store, if you're going to like, you know, like Noodles and Company, or you're going to like Jewel Osco or wherever, and you can't get to the store, it's really freaking frustrating. You have to sit there and wait for somebody to drive you for like half an hour to an hour, so until the Uber driver finds you, which is horrible. So anyway, I'm getting my car back in a week, so I'm happy about that.
Really cool. I'm excited for you. I'll cruise with you in your BMW.
Awesome.
We'll cruise to Fort Wayne, Indiana to check out a retirement spot.
Well, let's go to North Carolina.
We were just watching the Chicago Channel 5 news here, and it said the top 5 places to retire to, and number 1 was Fort Wayne, Indiana. So that lets you know that if you go there, you get a fat check from Social Security, and you have the best cost of living. That means when you go to the store, things are the lowest price and everything. That's what that's what the lady said they're basing that on. And they said the top 5 places to retire. The top 4 were a California base. I think the first one was San Francisco or San Diego, and I could attest to that because I went shopping there and I was like, why would you pay this much? Like, I think I got a coffee and the coffee was like $5.50, and I was like, this is unbelievable. But I felt at home in San Diego, but I felt like the cost of living, you pretty much have to be wealthy to live in an area like that. The top 4 were all California places because the cost of living is no good out there. But the 5th one surprised me. It said Honolulu, Hawaii is number 5 for the worst places to retire to.
Yeah. So
that's because it's expensive to live out there. And everything, I guess everything they get there obviously has to be imported over the sea, and that comes with a price, so that increases the cost of goods. And I think that one of the analogies I made with Mila here is, do you want a fat check in your mailbox, but you have to live in a place like Indiana? You know, I can't imagine, for me, Indiana just doesn't have anything appealing for retirement. There's no mountains. There's no ocean. What are you going to go hike in the cornfield?
Exactly. There's not too much to do in Indiana, but at the same time, I don't know how big the check would be. Say it's $3,000 a month or $3,200, somewhere in there. So I guess if you retire there, then you just, I don't know, pay your rent, which is like $700 a month or whatever, and then use the rest of the money to either travel to different states, which is definitely something you can do, like just go, take a vacation to Arizona, Tucson, Phoenix, wherever, or I guess, you can go, I guess the other option, what Lawrence was saying, is like go live in Cali, go live in San Diego, which is one of the most beautiful places, or, and then take that money.
Take that smaller check.
Take the smaller check. Take the smaller check, but live in a nicer place. So it's like one of 2 options.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so, people have options, obviously.
Yeah. Valparaiso, that's where the people... It's like the beginning of the last episode where Brooke is outside crying, and she's like on the stones outside in Italy, and she's like, "I like you, Adam." And Adam says, "All right, that's cool. I see you crying. Do you want to cry into my polyester shirt? Do you want to dry your eyes on my polyester shirt?" And she's like, "Yes, I would."
Yeah, definitely. I have no idea what they have on the preference sheets, but probably something about the ship.
They're paying $150,000 for 3 nights, such as, on this yacht, and they're supposed to have a good time. And these are actually the ones that are making use of their money because they're getting the ship underway. They're actually going to location. I don't think it's worth it to rent one of these yachts if you have to stay in port for the night or for a couple nights, because the whole point is that you're on a sea voyage. You're kind of doing something exciting. Okay. The reason that they're in the Med right now is it's a real secure location. If they were going to go around the Horn of Africa, then it would be so dangerous. For me, I'd like it. Like if we had assault weapons, I would not have a problem doing it, but they're going around the coast. They're just going around the Italian coast, which is very secure because you got all the Coast Guard. You got the Italian Coast Guard. You got the American Coast Guard. You're not going to be bothered by a whole lot of people, which is the reason I'm mentioning is because it's a factor to think about.
I thought they were in Presidia, Italy.
Yeah, good job.
Right.
They're in Presidia, Italy, and in the first 3 episodes, and then it looks like they're moving towards Capri on this next charter season. And of course, we all know, we're 90s kids, we all know Capri by Capri Sun, where we're probably experts. You're probably good at poking the straw into the...
I know exactly where to poke the straw, yes.
She's a good straw poker.
I'm the best.
Because when you're little, you have to learn that technique of how to stab a Capri Sun packet. She just did in front of me, she just did the stabbing of the Capri packet.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, if you don't get it right, then you just got to get it right so you can drink it.
What's the technique? If you were going to explain how to stab a Capri Sun packet to somebody that's never done it, what's the technique?
You take the straw and you stab it straight through the middle.
What do you do with the bag, though?
You hold the bag. Yeah, you just hold it. You wrap your hand around it, but you don't hold it that tight because
yes,
it's gonna. You do?
Yeah.
Oh,
you don't know that trick?
No.
Well, before you start it, you have to squeeze the bottom of it because it makes the top of the bag erect.
I didn't know that.
So when the top of the bag's erect, then you let go of the bottom part of the bag.
Yeah.
And then it makes it so you have a better stabbing area.
Oh, well, I just know you have to poke it straight through the hole. That's what I know.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't grow up in a wealthy environment, but I do remember every kid I knew at least got to have Capri Sun packs like once. And
Once a week.
At least once in their life as an experience. And if I was good, I guess if I got good grades or whatever, they would get me Capri Sun during the summertime, and that was our first official cocktails, is when we were 7, 8, 9 years old, sucking on Capri Suns with that yellow straw. I don't know if they still have those. Have you seen those?
I have, actually. I've seen them at the store. Like, I've seen them at Walmart, and I've seen them at Jewel. So you can still buy them.
What were they called? Like Cherry Cooler or something? That cherry one was my favorite. They put them in Lunchables. You remember Lunchables?
Yeah, they had them in Lunchables, too. And, like, people, or not kids, would get excited when they see those, so.
Yeah. Do you remember Dunkaroos?
Is that Dunkin' Donuts?
No, Dunkaroos is when you have that frosting stuff with the sprinkles, and you dump the cookie. It was like a little graham cracker, and you dunk it into the frosting, and you'd eat it straight.
Oh, I've never had that before.
And it was like, the 90s are filled with fun little things. My mom was a single parent, but she was able to get me in with the finer things of being a kid. Those Dunkaroos came around, and I seemed to be at the end of the fads. Like, when I finally got to eating Dunkaroos or whatever, it was by a time when it wasn't really popular, so I'd be an 8-year-old eating Dunkaroos, and everyone would be like, that was so 1993. And I'm like, what are you talking about? We're all 8-year-olds. Yeah. What's the problem? It's the fad. How could a food fad die down? It's still food. It's still good. Still got the sprinkles. Still got the frosting.
Definitely. I should try one of those right now in 2018.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they still had those around.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't sought them out. They probably do.
Maybe. I mean, if Casey talks about chocolate milk for 10 hours, I guess we could talk about the Dunkaroos for like 3 minutes.
So let's talk about what else is happening on this show right here. They have Captain Sandy being informed by Hannah that...
I thought it was Hannah.
Well, in her native language, in Australian, it's Hannah.
Oh, it is? Oh.
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Hannah.
Oh.
My favorite thing to do is eat, drink, and be merry.
Cookies.
I'm like doing a Worcester accent. So, what we have here is... Hannah went around the boat. You ruined my train of thought. Hannah ran around the boat and told everyone, like, hey, she's not legitimate. She's not a legitimate stew. She shouldn't have been hired upon the ship because she lied on her resume. She doesn't have the qualifications she said she did on her CV. So do you think she should be terminated now that they're on their 4th charter, or do you think she should be trained on how to do everything? Do you think in Hannah's busy workload she should be forced to teach Casey how to do everything? Pour a cup of coffee, make a cappuccino, make a Bloody Mary, act like silver service, which means you're polite. You don't say, when somebody asks for a club soda and the other person asks for a Sprite, you don't go, ah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think they should keep her because she's already in the business. So she's already been there 4 years. So how can you get rid of somebody who's...
It's not 4 years. It's 4 charters.
Oh, 4 charters.
Yeah.
She's been there for 4 charters, so you can't really get rid of somebody who's already a part of something. I mean, that'd be pretty shitty to do to someone.
So you're the boss of a company, and somebody's working there, been working there, let's say, for 4 days, and they're a nuclear scientist, and you find out that they never went to college. Do you keep them there, or do you get somebody who's qualified for the job?
That's definitely a different type of question.
It's not a different, it's a perfect analogy.
Well, I mean, but she already knows what she's doing, so it's different. But anyway...
She does not know what she's doing. That's the problem. How do you not see the very basics of this?
What's her name? Hannah?
Casey is all off the wall. She's doing everything wrong. Even the coffee isn't being made correctly. And she claims that she's a barista, but she's doing it all wrong.
Well, they either keep her because they like her and they retrain her.
Okay.
Or they get rid of her and find somebody, obviously some other chick that knows what she's doing.
You can probably tell I'm trying to steer you in the right direction here, but you keep like, oh, let's keep her. She's there already. We should keep her.
I think they should keep her. I don't know.
But it is true that the fact that they have her there already, it kind of puts them in a position where it's easier for them to just keep her, because to hire somebody else means paperwork and adjustments. And like Zhao is starting to get on my good side here, because he's giving practical thoughts on the situation here. Sometimes, like Dr. Phil, the silliest sayings mean the most sense, such as fake it till you make it. Well, Casey obviously was on a day cruise. She was on one ship. She went out and came back for a day cruise, which isn't hard. You hand somebody one glass of alcohol and you get paid, and that's it. Well, in this situation, she's got to go out there and she's got to actually provide luxury service, top-tier service in the world for guests, and sleep on the boat and interact with people. Well, it seems like in the first 3 episodes, the editors of Below Deck didn't show us her good side at all. We just see a girl who's gagging into an empty bucket, and it's hard to tell whether she's really sick or not. It just seems like she's overwhelmed. This may be her first job ever. And what we see here is the rest of the crew working hard, and she doesn't work. She's just kind of sick or whatever, and then she gets to keep a portion of the tip. And she doesn't even suggest that a portion of her tip gets removed for her not working. She just accepts the money as if it's a normal thing. And the reason I'm saying that is because in past episodes of this, we see there's a man from Chicago who is on this show on Below Deck Med. Actually, the last season. This show's been off the air for about 2.5 years. Oh. But I mean, the med part of it's been off the air. But what we saw on here is a guy named Danny, who's still in Chicago here, was sick. He got really sick. And, of course, the captain was Captain Mark, and he had Danny stay in his quarters. That's the rule. With Hannah, she's dancing around, she's eating pizza, she's drinking Coke. Danny had to stay in his quarters because that's the deal. If you're sick, you need to recover to become a manageable part of the boat environment. And they didn't make Casey do that. They just let Casey play on land in Italy there. You know, like oh, so she can't work, but she can go eat pizza and drink Coke. That's a little strange to me. With Danny, he was sick, and during the tip meeting, he had bravery, and he came up to everyone through Ben. Chef Ben said, "Hey, I was sick. Therefore, I don't deserve the same amount of money that everybody else is getting here." So they're supposed to split up a big tip that they got for working hard 7 or 8 ways. And Danny decided he didn't deserve it because all he did is lay down in his bed. So he said that, and sure enough, they're like, okay, that's fine. You can do that. We're cool with that. And Chef Ben was able to get him to do that, because sometimes we just need a push in the right direction. Like, Danny probably would have done it naturally, but Ben was like, yes, you didn't earn this tip. You didn't earn the $1,500 that we're all getting. So why don't you just give it to everybody else, and then have yourself earn it when you're not sick, when you're actually working.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anybody who's sick, they can't work, you know, so you just have to get better first, and then however long it takes you, then you can obviously start, you know, doing what you want to do. Just finding a good company to get into or a good position. I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult when you're not working because being sick's the worst thing in the world, but at the same time, when you get better, you can finally get back to work and be with all your coworkers and, I don't know, people that make you happy, like crew members and you know, on Below Deck, it's crew members, so you could obviously be with people that you love when you're feeling better. So yeah, that's really cool.
So what we see here is Colin jumped in the water and said, I'm going to try out this mechanical bull. So they're out there on this Aldi purchased inflatable bull.
Yeah,
they went to Aldi and bought this thing.
He's humping the bull right now in the water.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because he's testing it out. So that's his Colin's official job, the New Yorker. His official job is bull tester. And we're not talking about Wall Street over here. So he's testing a bull while we pan over to Adam in the galley in the kitchen, slaving away, getting the meal ready to go for these guests. And
he's jumping from the ship too.
And jumping from the ship. Is that something you would do?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've done it before, but not from a ship. So.
Yeah, in previous episodes, they've jumped from the top part of the ship, which is really high. It's like 35 feet up in the air, at the highest point you can possibly jump from. And some of the guys are being kind of nervous about jumping, and I'm like, it's not that high. They're jumping from the first floor, which is only 5 or 6 feet. But they've shown on past seasons people have diving competitions. When we had Rocky Dakota on, she dived, and she actually won the diving competition because she was a professional diver, and they brought her on as a stew on the show, and they have a lot of, Yeah.
What floor would you jump from, Lawrence?
From the captain's quarters. Just to practice, because that's where my permanent room's going to be one day.
Ah, I see, I see. And what would your captain name be?
Captain Hunk.
I named you Captain Law, but all right. I guess Hunk would be nice too.
Captain Hunk, may I have some more asparagus?
Yeah, of course, but I have to go make it first.
I'm pretty sure the chef would make it for me if I was a captain.
Just kidding. Yeah, you could have as much asparagus as you like. Well, it depends what kind of chef you hire.
So we had to make it to like the 5th episode here before we see Casey actually doing some damn work. Like, we get it. You and the beauty pageant contestants. You never had to work a day in your life. You went to classes. You got your psychology degree. Wonderful. You need to be caught working now. That's what Captain Lee said. He said, I need to catch you working. In the first season, he said that to everyone, and it looked like it was more off script. I'm saying that because reality shows, they're being followed around with cameras, and this didn't used to be so drawn out with every little event that happens. I think most people, if you saw the first season of Below Deck that came out in 2013, you would watch it and you'd be like, wow, that's boring. But I enjoyed it because it was like watching raw footage of people working, and the producers, all they did is follow the people around with the camera. And Chef Ben was on camera, and he's like, what I like to do is I like to let people know that the oven does not have to be at the highest level. You can put your beef in there and put it at a lower level and just let it cook for a few more hours, and you'll have better beef. And there are like tips and tricks, and then there were fun facts about the ship. Like, they showed that there used to be facts on screen that said the ship has an osmosis machine, probably $1 million machine on board, that just sucks in the seawater and it turns the water into drinkable water.
That's cool.
So we have our guests here, and the main primary guest is clearing his own trays, which is a big no-no, because he's paying to have service done for him. And if Captain Sandy were to see that, she would be irate. And Hannah knows it. She's being nice with him. She's saying, stop clearing the table. Not only is that frowned upon because it makes the workers look bad, but it messes Adam up because he needs to have enough time between the clearing and the dessert that it doesn't look bad. Now that their food's being removed, their first course is being removed from their face, that puts pressure on him because he's got to hurry up even faster now to get the next course out. So that screws him up. What do you think about that?
Right. Well, I think that you're not supposed to do things that aren't your job. So, if you're not paid, if you're not paid to do it, don't do it. But if it's not broken, don't break it, kind of thing. So he's screwing up the schedule. He's screwing up the routine. He's screwing everything up. And if he needs something to do, he should just find something else to do, but not go and clear the dishes because that's not his position.
Yeah, his position is primary charter guest.
Exactly. If you're a guest, be a guest and enjoy your company and enjoy the food and enjoy what you're there for. But don't go and clear the dishes, even if you have high anxiety or you're crazy or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Just do what you want to do. Oh, I mean.
So the thing about these guests in comparison to the other guests is our first 3 charters, we had obnoxious, awful, demanding, whiny, crybaby guests who put so much pressure on this crew, where these people are such relief. Finally, we have some nice guests.
Yeah, these new guests are the best guests ever. I mean, I've never seen better guests than them in the whole wide world. I mean, seriously. They're really cool. They play with tigers all day long.
Yeah, we have pictures here. We're watching Zhao is from Zimbabwe, so he's like, I did all the big stuff in Africa. He wrestled the tiger. I fucked a hippopotamus. I rode a giraffe. I fed a lion.
Yeah.
I ate a rhino horn. I poached a gorilla. And look at me. I'm in a boat now.
Yeah, I like ship talk a lot. It's really cool.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
So no, I do. It's funny when
I like ship talk.
I do.
I like ship talk.
Well, you could take that out then. But
Chef Adam must have carpal tunnel syndrome from all these courses he's making, because on every charter season you just see tons of plates being put down. One goes down, one goes up for each person, and Chef Adam is finally done for the night. It looks like he has a lot of work to do. I'd say he's got a lot on his plate, but he's got a lot on his guests' plates.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, he's probably a good chef.
So Hanrad is up in their bunk now, and they're getting cozy with each other, and Conrad is more the girl in this situation, and he's like, I don't know about this. I don't know. I never do this. What's going on? What's happening? And Hannah is all like, finally, a guy that puts out for me, because Hannah's only been on the Mediterranean episodes, and she's tried feverishly to get in with every male, and every male on every ship they've been on. They've only been on 3 ships now for the Mediterranean. Every male has turned Hannah down, and Hannah hasn't gotten any, because when she drinks 1 sip of alcohol, she goes nuts, and she's a horn dog. And then finally, what we have is Conrad puts out. He's 23. He's like, all right, I'll give her what she needs.
That's super cool.
So they probably have like a 12-year age difference. I think Hannah's in her mid-30s, and Conrad just turned 23, the age most people graduate college, and Hannah's like, yeah, he's kind of young, but I like to rob the cradle from time to time.
She might be a cougar, I don't know.
I think Hannah's pre-cougar. What age is cougar, like 36, 37?
Something like that. I don't know how old Hannah is, but yeah, somewhere in there.
So then we see Casey sitting in bed with a stack of papers. There's like 11 papers, and we see Jamie's head pop down and said, "What are all those papers?" And Casey says, "These are all my assignments and duties." So Hannah stacked a bunch of homework for her and said, "Before you go to sleep tonight, I want you to read all 8 pages of these notes so that you understand what your duties are."
Yeah.
Because you put us in a bad position. You lied to us. You said you let somebody else write your resume, your CV, and you claimed you were all these things you weren't. You were a lifeguard. You were a barista at Starbucks, which is not a great thing to lie about on your resume because it doesn't really inflate. I don't know. I guess as a stew, it inflates who people think, what people think about you, but it's kind of funny for someone to lie because you can be trained as a barista in a week, pretty much. Mm-hmm. I worked at Starbucks starting in 2017, and it took me about 3 weeks to learn how to do it.
Okay.
About 3 weeks, and then that's when you know the drinks and you kind of know the people that come in and everything, and it's not easy. One thing I'll say is that if I ever see someone disrespecting a barista, I'll step in, and I suggest you do the same because baristas are hard workers, and it's not easy. It looks like someone's just pouring coffee and everything, but it's not. It's a really hard job. These people have to do it, and they're on their feet for 8 to 12 hours a day, pouring you coffees and frappuccinos and teas. Give them some respect, and my encouragement to the people listening to this podcast, there's probably like 16 solid people listening, hey, tip your baristas. Don't just give them this 10% tip. Reach into your wallet or your purses. Give these baristas some solid tip.
Like $10 at least.
Like $10 at least.
Yeah, at least like $10. Like if you have more, then sure,
These people were working, Starbucks is an $82 billion company as of 2018, as of this podcast. I checked. I looked at a couple weeks ago, and it's between $82 and $83 billion. The baristas aren't getting that money. The baristas are getting the smallest amount that Starbucks can pay out in order to get the highest profits. We're not trying to kick people out. There's one event that happened in 2018 where some African Americans were kicked out. Well, it's not responsible to say that baristas are all like that. It was one girl manager who decided that something else was probably bothering her in life, so she'd take it out on these 2 gentlemen that were trying to use the bathroom in a Starbucks without purchasing anything.
Yeah, I heard about that. Then they had like a training day or whatever for the Starbucks employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, I guess, I don't know how long that training was, but they were trying to make people not racist towards Starbucks employees, something like that. That's right.
You can't make somebody not be racist. If somebody's Roseanne, somebody's Roseanne.
Right, but they had a training.
I'm going to try to get that to catch on. I've never heard anybody say that, but I think Roseanne's a good way to explain if somebody's racist. You can just say, "Are you a Roseanne?" Hell no, I'm not a Roseanne. So Adam's cooking a tuna meal, it looks like, and he's got a beautiful... Oh, what is that called? That's okay. Oh, yeah, and then Adam says, "Hey, Hannah, I'm going to be pissed if she calls this entree a fish thingy. Call it what it is," and he was specific about what it was and everything.
See, that's another thing, Lawrence. I don't know don't tape that. I don't know too much about this show, so, like, how am I...
Okay, you're watching, and then you're saying what you observe.
Okay. Well, the captain's putting the dishes away. And I don't know if that's right.
The man putting the dishes away is the primary charter guest, and he's just in a captain suit. He's not the captain.
Oh, okay. Well, but shouldn't he not be doing that?
So what's your favorite type of noodle?
Thai noodle.
Oh, yeah. I like Thai noodles, too.
Yeah, usually the thicker one, the pan noodle.
What does that cream you're putting on do?
It's a peach hand cream.
Yeah.
It just helps you relax.
You want your legs to smell like peaches?
Yeah, I do actually. It's a Mary Kay peach cream, and you just smell good all day. It just is a better feeling. It's summer 2018, so you have to look and feel good.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
What we have here is Conrad and Jal get into it because in every episode ever where there's a slide, there's arguments about how fast it goes up, if it needs to go up, the safety of the guests on it. Everyone's nervous about the ropes, because apparently when you put the slide down, there's some kind of rope situation that happens. And in this case, we see that Conrad was like, "Hey, put it down," and then Zhao is concerned. He's like, "No, the ropes will wrap around it." And Conrad's like, "No, don't worry about that. It unravels itself. That's part of the deal." So I notice a lot of times Zhao is concerned about things it seems like he doesn't really need to concern himself with. He was crying about the back end of the ramp on the back part of the ship, saying that someone should guard it for the night. That didn't make any sense. His position on that was it's a safety hazard because guests might accidentally walk out there and walk the plank at night. Like if they were sleepwalking, they might accidentally walk the plank. It's like that was just so far-fetched, I couldn't believe it. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really far-fetched as well, but at the same time, like, he is concerned about his boat, about the ship, because that's his position, so he needs to care for it, because if he doesn't, then, obviously, what are they going to do? They're not going to have a ship anymore, and if somebody really does come and attack them or try to, I don't know, steal. I don't know what they'd steal on the boat, but yeah, it's a very good thing that he's concerned. It's really good.
It's good for him that he's concerned, and it'll help him on other ships. I think he's going a little bit extreme in the worried category. His anxiety over things is a little higher than normal. But here's another side I didn't think I'd take. I think that I think that Conrad is not responding right to it. I think it's really hard for a young person to be the manager of someone that's 8 or 9 years older, because that older person is going to think that they have more experience and they deserve more respect, maybe because they're an elder. But one of the things was Conrad is not taking Zhao's concerns into consideration at all. It's like, no, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's all right. Don't worry about walking the plank. Don't worry about the ropes around the slide. It'll be all right. Did you ever hear the Harry Belafonte song? Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah, I know that song. It's a very good song. One of my favorites, actually, but I thought somebody else sang it.
Here's a little song I wrote. Who sang it other than Harry Belafonte?
Bob Marley.
Oh, he made a remake of it.
Happy.
He made a remake of it, but I think it was Harry Belafonte's original, and then Bob Marley made a remake of it.
Okay, because I listened to it last year, and I thought it was Bob Marley, but that's cool.
Because of the voice?
Yeah.
Mila here thinks that all Jamaican men are one man, so if he has a Jamaican accent, he is the one man in reggae.
That's so true, Lawrence. I don't know. I mean, I know my music pretty well, but I guess you know some of the older artists more than I do.
I know my reggae. I've downloaded a lot of reggae.
Yeah.
Leggae. It's a new band where you shake your leg while listening to reggae.
That's awesome, yeah. Below Deck is a really good show because there's a lot of people on there that, are just enjoying their life. Every single day they wake up and they get to be with their crew members and they like what they do. And that's really cool. I think that people need to find a good job where they actually enjoy what they do in life. And I'm actually one of them.
What job would suit you, Mila?
Probably being a radio host.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is your intro here. This is where people can hear you, and then it's your resume, it's your portfolio. You can be like, yeah, I was on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I want to travel as well, so that'd be so cool. Maybe Lawrence and I can go visit the Below Deck tapings and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah, maybe we can go, obviously go meet these people,
Yeah.
Like Casey and Bow Wow and Zhao and Hannah. We can just go out there and meet the people. Besides, we want to go to Italy anyway, so yeah, definitely it'd be so cool, and then we could actually do live broadcasts out there and all that kind of stuff, and not just podcasts, but actually be on video and things like that. So that'd be really awesome. Yeah.
You took it to a better level. There you go.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to up the ante a little bit.
Yeah.
Could you ever see yourself working on a boat like we see on Below Deck?
I could, but the only thing I could see myself being maybe just like making coffee.
That's what you could see yourself doing. Like you get on this charter, you're making $1,500 in tips, and what did you do? You made coffee one time.
Yeah, I think that would be. Well, that's not my real position. I'm a podcaster, so making coffee would be like one of the best things that they would ever drink from me.
And how would you make the coffee special?
I'd learn how to work the machine well, and I'd probably ask Hannah for direction. Or whoever, or what was the other girl's name? Casey. I'd ask Casey as well.
You'd ask Casey for direction? You go to the most inexperienced person on the ship and you'd say, "Oh, can you teach me how to do this?"
Alright, I prefer Hannah over Casey then.
Let me go ask the greenest person in life in general. I say, "Oh, you don't know anything? Oh, can you teach me about this nothing you know?"
Alright, well then maybe they should get rid of Casey. I don't know. Maybe they probably will. It just depends if she really wants to relearn her trade and just learn what she's doing. I don't know. You'd have to ask the captain. The captain has the most fun on the ship. In there. when they're driving the ship.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Good answer.
Yeah.
How long, if you got into yachting as a stewardess, how long do you think you'd be in? How many years?
6 months.
Okay, and then you'd quit because of what?
Well, I don't know. I'd have to try it first. That's why I can't say. It could be 6 months or it could be 6 years.
What if you loved it? What if you got into it for 6 months and you decided that yachting was right for you?
Well, then I'd probably do it for 5 years.
So Hannah's done it for 7, and she's a chief stewardess, and she loves it. She loves the money. That's the thing. There's a lot of jobs out there that people don't like, but you can make a lot of money doing it.
That's awesome.
What would be the #1 water toy that you'd use on the ship? Okay, I'll run down again. You got the hot tub, you got the submarines, you got the jet skis, and you got the paddle boards.
Definitely the jet skis, the paddle boards, and my favorite water toys would be the jet skis and the paddle boards, because you get to just ride them all day long on the water, which is awesome, and enjoy the sun and get an amazing tan, get an awesome tan and everything like that. So yeah, I'd definitely do that, and then I'd also go down that slide for sure.
Nice. You kept a smile on your face the whole time. They put you through the paces. They really put you through the ringer there. But you know what you did? You took your naps, you smiled, and you polished that banana. Thanks, Jow. I caught you. I know you're in there polishing that banana. So what I want to offer to you is $12,000 tip. Yeah, it's a little low, but guess what? These were hard guests.
Definitely. You have to deal with some hard times in life, and on this ship, definitely, they're really hard to please, all these people, like Casey, Colin, Josh, and Hannah.
Mila, who's your favorite person on the show? Who do you relate to the most, and who do you think needs the most improvement?
Well, my favorite person would have to be Chef Adam.
Sure. Why do you like him?
Because he actually knows how to cook his food. And then the person that I think needs to improve the most is the baby that whines all the time.
Who is that?
Her name's Casey.
Oh, Casey's gonna write in.
It says she's a baby whiner and a puker. So she just needs to work on herself, and she needs to work on her health too.
Defiantly. So here it is. There's a $12,000 tip. Hannah can't believe it. Hannah's been doing this for 7 years, and $12,000 is way too low for a 3-day painful charter like that. Captain Sandy is an optimist. She's like, hey everybody, smile, it's great. We went to a great summer camp on the boat. There were no pirates. There was a banana. There were smiles, and most importantly, there were lots and lots of naps.
Yeah, I love sleeping too. Naps are really, really good.
So Hannah stands up and says, Brooke's sister is getting married, and Brooke is going to be scrubbing the latrines from 4 to 6 in the morning. So let's all give her a thumbs up and a cheers, mate, to her sister, who is going to be experiencing a once-in-a-lifetime, or maybe twice, marriage.
Maybe. Some people get married twice, it's true. To carry more than just my secret.
So the girls are getting ready, the boys are getting ready. Best part of Below Deck is the fact that after all their hard work, after all the roughness, they get to go out and enjoy some shenanigans. They have their own party bus, chartered by Captain Sandy. So Captain Sandy sends all these people to town, says, come back in one piece, don't kill anybody, don't kill yourself, be friendly, don't insult each other's earrings. And Adam says, oh yeah, we're all festive. Look at Brooke and her hooker earrings.
She definitely had hooker earrings on, but he didn't have to say it like that.
She kind of laughed, but we found out that the reason she didn't punch him in the face is because she has a crush on him. Hannah says, out of all the boys in the ship, who do you like? And Brooke said, I like Adam because he knows how to cook food, and the quickest way to a girl's heart is through her stomach. Where's the quickest way to a girl's heart?
I can't answer that.
So we had a great time watching this, the first half of Below Deck Mediterranean. The season was great. I think that there'll be a lot of interesting times to come. Who knows how the next charter guests are going to be, but I think it'll be cool.
We had a lot of fun today. Bye. Expect a lot more from us. Thanks for listening to our first podcast. We really love the support and love our fans give us. If you have a minute, check us out on iTunes and leave a review. And if you don't want to do that, maybe next time you're talking to your friends about similar subjects, you could mention that you had fun tuning into the Loungtastic podcast. And we can get a fun interactive community going on. Really. That's all. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate the support. And if you don't want to do any of those things, it's okay. We're really happy you're listening. Thanks.